Transformers number 11. And I really love this cover. We showed it in the last video that this was coming up. You see Optimus Prime's hand. He's just smashing the glass of Shockwave. All right, you ready? Let's get into it. We kick this issue off with Beachcomber on his surfboard, and he's checking out the disturbance, seeing what in the world is happening. Why is Cybertron being sucked into the Earth's orbit? I love these shots. They look awesome, and I'm loving that we're getting some Beachcomber in this series. We then get back to the Autobots base where RC is sitting next to Ultra Magnus. It looks like they're putting pieces back to Ultra Magnus, and RC's just dealing with the fact that she thought he was dead, and she's like, I would have never left you. You've done everything for me. And in comes Alita 1. The Transformer Karen. I don't know. This is what they're doing to this character. And she comes in and says, you made a choice. You abandoned the cause. And before she could finish, finally, somebody puts Alita 1 in her place. RC just sucker punches her. And I was clapping. I was like, finally. All she does is run her mouth and is just so bitter and angry about everything. And yes, that's how the character continues, but it plays a role in the series. RC's like, you don't even know who I am. Alita 1 walks out holding her jaw, and then comes Carly saying, hey, what happened to Ultra Magnus? And RC says he was a captive of Shockwave for hundreds of years. And Carly's like, Shockwave? Isn't that who has Jazz and Cliff Jumper? And RC says, yeah, probably torturing them as well. You can see Carly's face, like she's showing some emotion to Cliff about what's happening to Cliff Jumper. We then go to Prime, talking to Wheeljack, asking about Ultra Magnus. How's it going? And Magnus gets up and he goes, I must be part of the new resistance. Now, Ultra Magnus, he's a warrior. He's a beast. Him and Prime together could tackle many Decepticons, in my opinion. I'm not sure if that's how they wrote him in this series, but that's in my head canon. That's in my head canon. And he's like, I want to fight. We get back to the Nemesis where Soundwave is asking Shockwave, hey, can I go through the portal? I got to fix my Ravage. And Shockwave, who looks like has taken charge of everything, says, Soundwave, you got to focus on other things at hand, like put that thing away. Soundwave's like, but he goes, hey, just focus. Got bigger things to do. Shockwave goes to the portal, and I believe those are the Combaticons, and they're like, leader Shockwave. It seems like everyone is afraid of Shockwave. They're asking if they can go to the portal and see the new world, and Shockwave is like, silence dogs. Do not concern yourself with such matters. You should be watching the walls of this place. And Shockwave is just focused. He's like, we're going to get the power back to Cybertron. Decepticons are going to rule. We got to maintain order. This is just who he is. And it just appears that everyone is afraid of him. We then get back to the Autobot headquarters where Wheeljack and Prime are talking about what they need to do to stop what's happening. Talking about the Nemesis and how they're taking power from the Earth. And then Carly shows up and is like, what about Cliff? We got to go get him. This is our first concern now for Cliff Jumper from Carly. And Prime is like, on that, we agree, Carly. And Alita 1. That won't be easy, Optimus. You saw what Shockwave can do. They got the other upper hand. She has just become total. It's about me. I'm a Karen. I don't like any of your plans. I'm angry, whatever. Prime is like, we must rescue our warriors. And whatever that meant to Alita 1, it triggers a major meltdown. She's like, rescue our warriors? What about the Autobot warriors? They were ground to death by the Decepticons when Optimus Prime left. Basically, she's screaming at Prime, you know, and just saying, it's all about me. It was me that was in the trenches for countless years. It was me. I lost everything, you know? It's all about me. And Prime is just keeping his cool as the amazing leader that he is and just lets her have her meltdown. He's like, I understand you're upset, but Jazz and Cliff are in danger. We must focus on them. and then destroy the Nemesis in order to save this planet. Elita 1 then sticks her finger at Prime, is like, and what about Cybertron? Leave it to Shockwave? And Prime is like, I'm confident in our abilities, Elita, and in our old friends. RC has a gun. She's like, I can't believe what they did to Magnus. They're all animals. Everybody's like upset. Tensions are high. You know, everybody just wants to fight. And in comes Elita 1 to RC. And RC's like, I don't want to hear from you. And Elita 1's like, listen, I was just going to say it's good to see that there's still a fire inside of you. We then get back to Optimus Prime, where he's thinking about Ratchet and some of the things that Ratchet had said to him. Elita 1 stomps back in. I mean, she's quite the character in this issue. And she's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just thinking about an Autobot now gone. And she's like, yeah, add him to the pile of the dead. And he's like, Ratchet said I was too concerned with this world, but I brought this war to them. They need us now. And Elita 1's like, she doesn't care about Earth. She's like, we have our own problems. And he's like, well, this might be true, but I think we need each other to survive. And now she's like trying to question the plan. She's like, what? We just gonna rush in? And he's like, no, we're not going head on. And she's like, what's going on? What are you talking about? Prime says, among all the Autobots, who has teleportation abilities? Elita 1 says, none. He goes, exactly. And this is the plan. Since they have Skywarp, they are using Skywarp's abilities to teleport themselves onto the Nemesis. Prime had this all figured out. He had Wheeljack make special charges. He had everything set. Carly shows up and he's like, you're making a big mistake. You need to take me with you. I'm an asset. And Prime's like, someday, but not today. And see Carly and RC talking a little bit. She's like very concerned about Cliff Jumper. And she's like, Cliff Jumper saved me so many times. I just gotta get him back. Even though she was like rude to him and didn't want to talk to him. You know, it seems like all the women in this issue, RC's the only one with a level head. Everybody else is having like panics and moments and whatever you want to call them. RC looks back at Carly and says, I will save him, Carly. I promise. We then get back to Beachcomber and he tells Spike what's going on, that the Decepticons are taking life from the ocean. It's terrible. And Astral Train, who's still tied up, is like, it's what was meant to be. We're going to drain the life out of this planet. Beachcomber then gives him a little energon and says, I hope this will keep you alive until the Decepticons find you. And Beachcomber grabs Spike and he's like, listen, man, there's nothing we could do. It's just war, violence, and killing. Nothing helps. We must go. Picks up Spike and he goes, we'll find another part that's quiet in this world. Beachcomber just wants to run away. Doesn't want to fight. Just wants to find a place of beauty and peace. Spike then sees a deer and remembers Optimus Prime, who killed the deer. And he's like, I know how you feel, Beachcomber. It feels wrong to fight, but I don't think I have to. I just know I can't run away. We then get back to the Nemesis, where Shockwave is back. And he looks like he's going to try to torture the Autobots again. He slaps Jazz because Jazz was running his mouth, acting like your tortures do nothing to me. He then picks up another device and he goes back over to Cliff Jumper. And he's like, you know, this guy's the guy that screams, right? He's like, what if we do this? And before he could finish his sentence, Optimus Prime is behind Shockwave. He says, you shall do no such thing, Decepticon. Doesn't even call him his name. He's like, drop it. He then goes to rescue Cliff Jumper and Jazz. In comes Elita 1. Shockwave's got his hand up. Then RC comes in. He's like, does it feel good to be on the other side of a loaded barrel? How about I end this right now? And Prime's like, RC, stop. Remember how far you've come. Don't lose yourself. And Shockwave takes advantage of them like discussing and kicks RC, starts shooting, grabs Cliff Jumper, puts the gun to his head, says, not another step. Not another step. Begins to run out of the door. Heads to the other Decepticons. And he says, combine yourself right now into Devastator. Soundwave has like lost all control. It's all Shockwave at this point. They transform into Devastator. Look, and he's looking down at the Autobots and just kind of gives them one big clothesline. And Prime is like, don't worry, Alita. Shockwave then discovers the portal that's bringing the Autobots. And Prime says, this is why we have backup. And in comes Ultra Magnus, ready for the fight. Look at this shot, this one page. It is beautiful. Ultra Magnus, then Wheeljack steps through and he's all strapped. And then it happens. Ultra Magnus sees Shockwave, the Decepticons that was torturing him for 150 years, and he can barely speak. Prime says, Magnus, with a question. Magnus drops his gun and said, I'm sorry, I can't. He transforms and leaves. Shockwave then begins to laugh and says, I broke his mind, and now I shall break your bodies. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is the end of Transformers number 11. And they give us a sneak peek of the next one, number 12. You see Prime, looks like he's walking into Cybertron. I can't wait. I can't wait. What did you guys think? Ultra Magnus is broken. What is this? I was hoping for a Prime Magnus showdown against the Decepticons. I think they would have cleaned house, but what do you think? What is going on with Alita 1? She did nothing in this fight. What's gonna happen to Ultra Magnus? We need him to get back in there, man. What is going on? These issues get better and better, and I can't wait to get to number 12. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This is Jay, and we will catch you on the next one.